Welcome back to my Lobotomy Corporation bedtime story reading. This is Hitori, and I will be helping you fall asleep with some ambient audio and awesome OST from our favorite game as I learn more about Lobotomy Corporation's abnormalities. In the last video, we read about Don't Touch Me. This time, it will be about Funeral of the Dead Butterflies. This is now the 17th video of the series. Check out the entire playlist on the card on the upper right of this video. By the way, I just launched my Lobotomy Corporation cup design. I hope you can check it out. Let's begin. Funeral of the Dead Butterflies T-01-68 is a humanoid abnormality which has a white butterfly for a head and possesses 5 arms, 2 at each shoulder and 1 coming from its neck. It wears a black suit and coat with a single white sleeve for its middle arm. It carries a black coffin with a butterfly engraved on its lid behind its back, with 2 of its arms. According to the flavor text, the coffin is full of butterflies. Origin. Part of its origin is currently unknown, but in its entries it is mentioned that this abnormality came to the facility to free the employees, to return them to their home after they die. However, due to employees being bound to the company and only able to return when they are discarded, the objective was difficult to achieve. The abnormality was then captured by the corporation. Ability. Funeral of the Dead Butterflies ability triggers when its clip-off counter reaches 0. Its clip-off counter can fluctuate in the following ways. Decreased by 1 when agent with justice level 2 or lower works with the abnormality. Decreased by 1 when an agent with fortitude level 4 or higher works with the abnormality. Decreased by 1 with 80% chance when getting a bad work result. When the Funeral of the Dead Butterflies clip-off counter reaches 0, it will breach containment. When Funeral of Dead Butterflies breaches, it will begin walking around the facility with 400 HP. When there is a target in the same room as it will perform one of 2 attacks. 1. It extends its left arm and make a gun shape with the hand. Then shoot some butterflies towards an employee, which will deal 10 to 5 white damage. 2. It slams the coffin it carries with it on the ground and places it vertically in front of itself. After a few seconds, the coffin will open and butterflies will flood the corridor in front of it, dealing consistent load 3 to 4 white damage for some seconds to any entities trapped in the swarm. If the abnormality depletes the sanity of an employee with its attacks, the employee will die instead of panicking, with butterflies resting on their corpse. When defeated, Funeral of the Dead Butterflies will slowly float down and enter its coffin before returning to the containment. Story. Where does one go when they die? Where did all the employees who work here go? They must have returned home to a haven where family and warmth await. The employees cannot leave once they join the company. The only way to leave is to resign. And those resigned employees must have returned home, having earned what they wanted and being full of hope. We are the feathers of a wing. Resignation isn't as simple as you think. just like how a feather doesn't detach from a wing of its own will. Then, where did all the resigned employees go? They're bound to the company the moment they enter. Even if they do resign, they are doomed to stay here forever. Long ago, in some world, people believed that they would become beautiful beings with small wings when they died. It's a silly story, nonsensical too. If we get wings, will we be able to leave this place? Do we get our wings only after we retire? They say the mourner with a huge luggage on his back had come to be a survivor to all. Eventually, he himself was trapped in this place, and now he wanders the company with only the memory of an empty face. He's carrying a coffin, a large coffin, to pay tribute to the employees who have nowhere else to go. However, it is still too small to comfort those innocent sacrifices. Inside it is a kaleidoscope of butterflies, waiting for the moment to fall asleep. Until then, they flutter their wings uselessly, the wings that may have been many jumbled into one, or split into many. Butterflies are supposed to pollinate flowers, but not a single proper flower blooms in this place. There is no choice but to wait. After all, there must be an end to every world. Trivia. The ego weapon of the abnormality is the first weapon to include two types of damages. White, displayed for the weapon, and black as the secondary damage type. The file name for Funeral of the Dead Butterflies is titled Butterfly. Being labeled as a trauma type, it might represent the experience of rest and reincarnation upon death, an experience deprived in the corporation after failing in providing proper rest to the sacrificed employees. The captive abnormality will wait until the end of times. In the files, two documents refer to Funeral of Dead Butterflies, butterfly.xml and butterflyman.xml. They are extracted copies of each other. The reason for this is unknown. Funnily enough, the first time I saw this abnormality was not in the game. My friend, Panda Pao, actually shared me a post from Twitter where Funeral of the Dead Butterflies had like a 3D modeled asset that is animated and looks very beautiful. After a few sessions, I was able to get Funeral of the Dead Butterflies, and he is as beautiful as I remembered him in that 3D animated Twitter post. So I feel like this abnormality will actually be used quite often, possibly all of the Project Moon games, right? Because currently I'm playing Lobotomy Corporation just so I can follow through the other games of Project Moon. When I got him, I was kinda scared because he might look beautiful, but he might be deadly. Well, he was quite deadly when he once breached, because of course, one of the requirements for him not to breach was agent has to be Justice level 3 or higher. to work with him without getting the clip counter into zero. And I didn't have a decent training abnormality that I could train people with repression on. So, breached once, I watched him kill my employee, and it was beautiful. Did I regret it? Not at all. Why would I regret seeing such a beautiful thing outside? But of course, at the end of the day, we would actually like his ego gift, right? We want the gun and the suit. So at the end of the day, I was able to find a way to train repression. Thank you for the people in chat who helped me. Is he my favorite abnormality? He was. But now I'm on my third reset in the game. So I've met quite a few more abnormalities, and I will tell you once we get to that special abnormality that I like, if they're my favorite. But for now, if you have tips or interesting details about this abnormality, comment about it below. Don't forget, I just launched my Lobotomy Corporation cup design in my new store, my 4th-year-old page. Don't forget if you want to check it out. Please feel free to catch my stream in Twitch and in YouTube so that you can assist me if you're a veteran in the game. And if you want more Project Moon content from me, please don't hesitate to like the video. You can also support me further with my Patreon. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I'd like to thank my current Patreon supporters that are shown on the screen, as well as my Twitch subscribers. And to always let you know that I appreciate everything that you do for me. Truly. Likes, comment, shares. I appreciate it a lot. This thanks is also extended to you who's currently watching. Anyway, until next time, I hope it was easy.